Turning pain into beauty. That's what artist Alexis Peskine is seeking to achieve in his exhibition called Fire Figures. That's currently on show here in London. He uses gold leaf and nails to represent how current and historical injustices suffered by Africans and people of African descent have been overcome.
Fire Figures escalated, I guess, elevated to the fire because, of everything that we're seeing right now. So basically, all these injustices, they kind of all come from like the same roots of displacement, of colonialism. I'm kind of like paying homage to, the resilience, to the resistance, and to the greatness throughout all of this violence. I'm using gold on top of these nails to show how basically from like something as banal as a nail, we have created things that are like very refined and that the whole world responds to. I use the hibiscus as bloodstains. It's a metaphor for how from violence kind of stems beauty, also evoking Breonna Taylor, who was killed in her sleep and she was innocent. Stephon Clark, who was killed the same way in his grandmother's home. So I'm talking about like, the invasion of overseers, police force, which were like almost acts as in slave masters did back in the day, going to people's houses and, basically you not having any safe place. I'm trying to do like all 54 countries of the African continent to really get an understanding of this continent that historically my family has been displaced from. I went to Tanzania and I went to Zanzibar. And as I was there, I learned a little bit more about like, how our ancestors were like treated with spices and everything. So also I started using spices like curcuma and such to add this dimension in my work. All the landscapes that I'm choosing are landscapes that have to do with the histories of Black people, of Afro descendants or Africans. So in A Seat at the Stolen Table, I'm talking about displacement, I'm talking about colonialism in South Africa. If you start looking and asking, and you could see, oh wow, like, people used to live here, Xhosa people, then, people got displaced, put in townships, like in places like Langa. And so this whole history, and I think it's like very subtle, and a lot of times you don't see it, but I wanted to show that this contemporary world, like we made this contemporary world, like culturally, like musically, everything, like everything, the whole skeleton and more, and the flesh of this world, like is coming from, Africa, Afro descendants, like Blackness, but a lot of people don't see value in our lives. Even within ourselves, we don't see that, and that's basically, it's a homage to that. Like, I'm showing how much we contributed to this universal. Like, the universal is us, but we always put on the margin of that. And actually, we are to go back at that and benefit from it, from all kinds of aspects, And we should be on top. We shouldn't be at the bottom like we are right now, you know what I'm saying? You can't ignore, like, this history. This is part of, like, our common history. And again, it's like, we're talking about Black history, but it is history of the world where that's being hidden, and that needs to be addressed. It is Black history, but it's history of the world.